Now we're
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Limp
Yes.
Bizkit can eat my ass. Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. Welcome back, everybody. It's You Guys One Move. I am one half of this barrage of hosts. I am El Fuzzo, and I'm joined, as always, with the epitome of the perfect man,
Oh
Mr.
God.
Brando Comics.
Every
How
time
are
I
you, sir?
talk to you, you just put these standards at a point that's unreachable, and it just makes me hate myself even more.
But it's not unreachable. You look. We all think one thing about ourselves, but through my eyes, you are the epitome of a perfect man. So,
Well, thank you. You're the only one that thinks that. I appreciate it.
I'm sure there's some other people. Your wife, your wife thinks that. I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
your wife thinks that about you too.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure thing. Sure thing, man. Sure thing.
I used to try to tell myself that, though. I used to be
Yeah.
like, yes, she thinks I am the perfect man. And then we've been together forever, and I'm like, she thinks I'm a fucking idiot.
Dude,
So,
I lost all trust issues when I was growing up, and all the doctors would tell me, "Oh no, no, don't worry, man. It'll grow in puberty." So after that, I
you
trust
lied to
nothing.
me,
Nope.
Doc. Well, so as for topics today, we have a few, but before we move on with anything new, we have to backtrack a little bit because last week we talked about piss poor casting choices and we kind of ran out of time on ourselves because we started talking a lot. So, is there some honorable mentions you would like to talk about before we move on?
Yes. One is going to be controversial,
Okay.
and the other ones are probably going to be agreed.
Okay.
More than likely. I'll start with one that's agreeable. Um,
Okay.
Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Oh yeah, that was a garbage can.
I mean, she's she's gorgeous.
Well, yeah, and
She's
she's a
amazing,
great actress.
and yes, and she's a great actress, of course, very great actress. But
But
uh, uh no,
that whole movie was a fucking trash can though. Like start to finish, that movie was terrible.
that was pretty bad, man.
There was nothing redeeming about it. Like she couldn't even save that movie. Like the costume
Well,
was bad. Dude, the costume was terrible.
costume was everything was terrible about that movie, but it
Everything.
still gave me some stirrings, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
can't base
Catwoman.
every single movie off that though, because
No, God, no. No.
I don't know.
If you based every single movie off the stirrings in your downstairs mix up, there'd be a lot of really shitty movies that would pass as good.
Yeah, like that scene from that DMX movie with Steven Seagal. The hot scene.
There was a hot scene
Scene
in
in that
any
movie.
movie involving Steven Seagal.
Yeah, there's. I forgot the name of the girl that's in it, but it was very lovely. And I was like what, like 13? No, 14, maybe 15. I
Okay.
wasn't supposed to even see that movie. I think it was rated R. I don't know. It was really
Hmm.
really nice. But anyway, so yeah, Halle Berry,
Holly Berry.
Catwoman, Arrow.
Okay. Who's
Um,
up next?
Jessica Alba, Sue.
Sue Storm. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't, I didn't like either of those movies, but I
No.
know some people they have like a love hate for them. I was never a fan of either one of those. So,
No.
but I'm also not a very big
Um,
Fantastic Four guy, so that could be why.
me neither, man. Some about the Fantastic Four, I just always felt was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, the difference is though, I can actually appreciate and understand the appeal of them for other people,
Right.
unlike Silver Surfer and Green Lantern.
Uh, So
Yeah, I can't, man.
there's legitimately no Green Lantern that you like. None.
I don't know, man, because I'm such a fucking prick that like I just refuse to like that girl on Instagram, very popular, very awesome woman, DC time out of her day to
Right.
break down like issue by issue and which ones to read and what story arcs to read and everything, and I'm just like
Oh wow.
I wrote back like, oh, cool, thanks. Like I, I
I'm I'm super glad you took all this time to do this, but I ain't reading none of this shit.
I mean, I'll event, dude. I still haven't read the fucking Hellboy that I picked. I haven't read Kanto. I have, if you could see what
The
I
read
see right
pile.
now, not just to read, I still have bags and boards to do. I got so much shit to do, man. I just, like, you'd think that I wasn't actually like a comic book fan anymore. You think I was just a guy that collects just for clout and I think I'm cool and they spend maybe the
Yeah, but I mean, you can't flip unbagged and boarded books. So
You can if you just want to be one of those sellers on eBay that just throws it in a manila envelope and says, "Fuck you, mama huevo."
or a cereal box. I saw that the other day.
Yeah, Juan threw that in the chat. That was pretty fun. Cereal box. I'm just going to put this comic in my cereal box and send it out to this man. He'd be very happy. Yeah.
I just finished my Honey Nut Cheerios. I need a box for this
Yeah.
slab. I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and throw this shit in there.
Bring me the Wheaties. But
Wheaties.
Wheaties.
But yeah,
Um, yeah,
fuck.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah, I thought she was piss poor in Sin City too, but like I don't think she's a good actress.
I don't think she's a good actress either, but I mean,
So
whatever. Um, there's
anybody
two
else?
more. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, I'm gonna actually say the one that I said is controversial,
okay,
and then leave the one I hate the most for the last.
okay,
Michael Chiklis as the Thing. I say
okay,
that's controversial because there's a lot of people that think that he actually nailed that role with
okay.
like the attitude and everything.
Right,
I love Michael Chiklis. I think he's a great fucking actor. I think
right.
I just I don't know. There's some I don't know. I don't like it. Not
I'm
for me.
not well enough versed in Fantastic Four or the Thing to really give a super opinion on that. I loved Michael Chiklis on The Shield. I thought that was a
Yeah.
great show. I thought he killed that show. He was really awesome. So I can't really speak too much on that just because I don't know how the thing's supposed to act. I don't know, like, is the thing supposed to be like an angry New Yorker that's just like Rockman? Because, like, if that's the case, then yes, he did a great job.
Just some Long Island fucking dick face. It's clobbering time.
Oh, God.
I
The
don't know.
door popped
But
open.
that's the one I say is controversial because like there's a lot of people that really enjoyed him
Did
as
enjoyed him in that role. Yeah. Well, cool, man. I mean, you know. And who's the
but
hate?
like dude that's like with almost everything because like sometimes it's somebody's bag, sometimes it's not. It's like anal sex, man. Like some people love it,
Exactly.
some people don't. Some
Yeah.
exit only, maybe not. I don't know. On the fence, I guess I'll stay on the
Some
fence. But
people are on the
I don't know. I
fence.
think there's other people. Oh
some
no,
people
my oh
some
god,
people get surprised. Some people are like,
yeah,
whoa, wrong. Wait, maybe not wrong home. Maybe I kind of dig this.
wrong. Holy shit, this is
Shit.
great.
All right, who's the
That's
hate though? I got to know the hated cast.
oh I actually was astonished at myself for not bringing this up in the pod last week. 'Cause I'm just so passionate about how much I fucking hate Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh yeah. Okay. Um, I don't disagree. I was not a fan, but I
Oh
also
boy.
looked at I looked at the director of the film, and David Ayer is like very very big on like very gangsterish shit. Like David Ayer directed what was that Denzel Washington movie? with Ethan Hawke. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Oh, fucking, don't Training Day.
Training Day. He directed Training Day. He also did one with Christian Bale, where Christian Bale was like a fucking gangster ass, hard ass dude. He was a like corrupt cop. Harsh Times, I think it was. He was
Okay,
like
but dude, there's one thing about making a gangster,
that is true. And
and
then
then there's
there's
another,
one thing
and then there's
about making
another, and then there's another thing about going into a fucking gas station, going into the restroom, dropping 35 cents into one of those condom machines to get a glow in the dark condom, rubbing one out with said condom, drawing a smiley face on it, leaving a nickel on top of it, and dropping it on the ground with your goo coming out. That is Jared Leto's Joker. It looked like a fucking used glow in the dark condom
oh
with
my
some shiny bits.
holy shit, that's hands down one of the best analogies I've ever heard to describe anything, period. But
That's
yeah,
just
no, he was trash. Like his look was trash. But like I don't hate the way he portrayed the character. His look was garbage though. You don't like anything.
no, I just no. I don't know, man. It's just
I don't
I did
know.
damaged. Yeah, damaged. He honestly like
Dude, the face tattoos were fucking stupid, and the grill was fucking retarded. Okay, I'll give you that. That shit was
just
dumb.
the whole thing to me. Like I would have like his I was so happy. A lot of people were very upset that he wasn't in the movie like very much. And I was
Oh
really happy.
no, I think that really saved it though, because
I
I
know
think
because
had he have been in the fucking movie a lot, that thing would have gotten drilled so hard into the fucking ground, harder than it already did.
oh yeah, it already did. I look at it like
So
this. If if you go to Tijuana, Mexico,
okay,
and you visit a Planned Parenthood and you walk around back and open up the dumpster and jump in, do you want to be in there for 5 minutes? Do you want to be in there for an hour and a half?
that's probably true.
So that whole movie was a Planned Parenthood dumpster in Tijuana, Mexico, and just how long I had to
Holy shit.
fucking deal with it. I can't even laugh at this because I'm just so passionate.
No,
Like,
I totally
hate
get it.
his
I could.
character so bad.
It was very bad, but like I thought it was very humorous to me because when it first happened, when the movie first came out and everything, you had the half and halves, and then you had the like after the movie came out, everyone was like he was trash, he was garbage, blah blah blah. But then when they did the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, those same people got like up in arms pissed and were like, oh, it's because Leto didn't get a whole movie. Like, what is wrong with you?
We've established that people are just like that. Like the whole
Yes.
fucking release the Snyder cut shit. They're the
Yeah.
same
Oh
people.
yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I just
Like and those
I
people, like, what do you? Are you guys really fans of Marvel? Because I'm gonna shit on Marvel fanboys again. Because like
yeah
that's a Marvel fanboy move. Stop it.
yeah it
Stop it.
absolutely yeah I'll give it to you. Hell yeah. I don't disagree with any of those things. I like I said, man, I am of the ilk that Jared Leto's Joker was bad. I can't classify that I fucking like get passionately hateful about him. I just really didn't like him that much. So
I don't know. So there we go. We have Michael Chiklis as the Thing, Jessica Alba as Sue,
yep.
uh, Halle Berry as Catwoman, Jared Leto as Joker, and Epstein didn't kill himself. All right. So what's
Boom.
next?
List is done. Well, I thought today, before we, decided to do the pod, I was like, well, we had a topic to talk about, but the week kind of got away from us and we didn't really get to research it as much as we did. So we could either A, go along with the topic that we both really want to talk about that we didn't research enough and have it come out not the way we want it, or since it's the middle of September and it's getting close to spooky season, October, Halloween, all the spooky shit, I figured we could talk about some more childhood bullshit. And if there's any memorable Halloween moments in our lives or spooky stories that you heard as a kid about the weird house in the neighborhood or fucking any spooky shit that you did as a kid and, experienced anything. Because I figured we're both assholes. We both like spooky shit a little bit. We might as well talk about it.
I like it.
So,
I like it. And also, I don't know why, but later on, I want to shout out a little mini birthday story because it was my wife's birthday on the
oh,
16th.
absolutely.
Yeah, and her 30th birthday. I didn't even tell you this yet, so this is gonna be fun.
Oh, shit. So this is a story about said day.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited. I almost want to lead off with that, but uh, do you actually remember your first Halloween costume? Like what you were the first year that you ever celebrated Halloween? This could
That
go
I
back as far as
recall.
baby. Like this could go far as like your parents dressed you up like an asshole for fucking Halloween because that's my first memory.
I don't know. Most of my childhood Halloweens, like I dressed up as a poor person because that's just what I was the rest of the year. Um, no, I remember the Salvation Army and my God would be awesome with that stuff. So like
Oh yeah.
if I'm not, I'm pretty sure uh, Leonardo or being when I was
Leonardo the
younger.
Ninja Turtle.
No,
Yeah.
Divin.
Oh sweet, that's even better.
I made that shit up. Yes, the Ninja Turtle, man.
Yes,
Yes,
I
the
know.
Ninja Turtle. Leonardo the Ninja Turtle. I
Nice.
did a lot of like, dude, I did a lot of like wizards. I was always like a wizard, and I
Really?
remember, yeah,
Well, you're big into fantasy, so
yes.
that
The
makes
issue
complete
with me, the issue with me in fucking Halloween, okay, was like I'm a big guy. Like right currently in my current state, I am 6'5"
right.
and 265 pounds.
Okay.
So when I was 13, I was the size of an adult.
Holy
So,
shit.
yes. So like 12, even 11, 12, 13. Like when I was 11, like 11 years old, I was like 5'6", 5'7". Like I hit a weird fucking
Holy
sprout at like 10.
fuck.
And then
I'm
third
35 and I'm like 5'5" if I'm lucky.
no, 13 to 14 I hit over 6 feet, 6 feet and over, and then like around
Wow.
16 is when I sprouted the last little bit. So like whenever I would go, like people would just question me. They'd be like, "Aren't you a little old to be trick or treating?" I'm like,
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, I could see that for sure because like the past couple of years with having a kid now, like I usually stay behind the wife, like we'll go hang out with friends and I'll usually stay behind with the other dad and we'll hand out candy while the women take the kids out to trick or treat. And dude, I'm telling you, I've seen some kids that I'm like, man, I don't know
yeah,
about you. But they've also lost all their creativity. So that is always like because I'm a big Halloween buff, man. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a big horror fan and shit like that. But like I just feel like some people just lost all their creativity and they literally just throw like a faceless mask on and they're just like, what
yeah. I
up?
mean,
And it's like, fuck you. You ain't getting no candy.
I had to, I don't know, like for like my wizard costume, for example, like I had to, I my oldest sister, um, she had a cap and gown, so like I used her gown as like
Okay.
my wizard's robe,
Hey, man.
and I had like I bought a funnel to
Like
like
a,
put on like to like put on top of my head, then wrap like a thing around it to make it look like a
like
fucking
a,
wizard's
like a,
hat. And
like an
I
old
don't know,
like
man.
Disney Merlin's hat. That's
Well,
awesome.
I don't know why we're bringing like this. Just makes me depressed. It's just like this is supposed to be fun. This
Was
just
not my
sucks.
idea. I swear to God.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, fuck. It
No,
does
but
suck to
no,
suck.
no, it was fine. I enjoyed. No, you know what it was is because like my dad he's always working. Well, both my parents are always working, but I
Right.
remember that it was cool because his job. Because I mean, I don't Halloween now is just honestly kind of a big fucking joke. But back then, where I grew up, there's hundreds and hundreds of fucking kids. It
Yeah.
was a big thing
Oh yeah.
because you got to understand too that I where I grew up, I wasn't that far from Salem.
Right. You definitely
So
weren't. So that makes it even. See, that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to kind of get into this with you because I know
yeah,
that. I know where you're from and I know how close you were. And I wonder if that bleeds out. Like if that bleeds
yeah.
out into
So
the whole area around
oh yeah.
October.
Oh well, I'll get into that. But
Okay.
no, it's just awesome because excuse me, my father's employer would basically let them do a half day
Okay.
because they need to be home to take the kids out trick or treating.
Of course. Which is
And
awesome.
like I don't know, it was just my mom would stay home and pass out candy to everybody. My dad
Yeah.
would actually take me and dude, my dad is a big man and like he doesn't like physical activity, but he would walk everywhere for that shit. And then he was awesome because he was all about like getting the most bang for your buck. So I remember we would go and hit up like my entire town, and
Yeah. Oh
then
yeah.
we'd go back and we'd hop in the car and he'd drive me to like the next town.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then I oftentimes wonder why I was 260 pounds when I was 14. But
Well, when you're
I'm
trick or
sorry,
treating a full night,
360, 360.
well, I mean, fuck though, dude. See,
But yeah,
I grew up on an Air Force base, so like the Air Force base was huge. So what we would try to do once we hit, oh, I don't know, probably 11 to 13, 14 ish, is we would make sure to start in our area, but then we would make sure that you hit the entire block area of the officers' houses because that's where all the rich kids were. That's where all the rich people were, was the officers.
yeah.
So we would always make sure to hit their houses and shit like that. And then you'd finish out, you'd round around back to your area and everything like that. So that was always fun for us. But we always had to deal with assholes and we always had to deal with bag snatchers and shit like that. So you always had to watch out for that stupid bullshit.
Oh, but yeah, like you said though, I would always hit the rich areas because like where I'm from is very interesting because I was like Section A part, but like it's a very
Right.
very very rich area. Like on High Street, um, like these motherfuckers would hand out full size candy bars, man. It was great.
Really.
Yeah, it was awesome.
See, we never had the full size, but we were the kids though. Like I'm not even gonna pretend. Like if your ass was one of those please take one people, like where you're not even outside, you just
Oh,
leave
you're
the
one of
bowl.
those, man.
Oh, I was. I was. I'm not gonna lie. I was. I was one of those people for the first couple of years, man, and then like I think I began having a conscience and it just kind of faded. I was just kind of like, man, we did that for years, dude. That was just so shitty. Cause like we were just shitty ass
I
kids.
would only take one.
Well, that's good. And now that I have a child of my own, I always make sure she takes one. So I learned my lesson, but I was an asshole in my youth. But I never pretended not to
That's all
be.
right.
That's why I
It's
got in
okay.
trouble all the time.
It's all good, man. I don't know.
But one
That
of
was
my
it.
most fond memories though was one year I couldn't figure out what the hell I wanted to be. So I just told my mom, I was like, just paint my face awesome. And so awesome to my mother was to paint my face like Ace Frehley from Kiss.
You love Kiss.
Yeah. I've loved Kiss my whole life. So me being the dickhead that I was, she painted my face like Ace Frehley, and I was going trick or treating from house to house. And big hit with the older people, and they were like, "Oh, it's the space ace," blah blah blah. And I was like, "I don't even fucking know what you're talking about. Can I just get some candy?" But yeah, so that was always fun. And then I don't know, man. Like as I got older, like I got more into the spooky shit. So instead of trick or treating, we always tried to fucking like go to haunted places and stuff like that, man. So
Oh, ooh, yeah, Now you're fucking getting my cogs turning. I have,
Yeah, like
yeah.
we would always try to hit haunted places and shit. Did you have any place around you that was like the haunted
Oh,
house?
did I ever? Have you ever seen Session 9?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
The Danvers Mental Hospital?
Yes, the Danvers Mental Hospital. Yeah, because it's the movie is
So,
based. The movie, if I remember correctly, the movie is about a not a cleanup crew, but like an electrician crew that is
no,
supposed to go in, or are they
they're
a cleaning crew?
I think they're a cleanup crew and they're removing asbestos. Because if you
Yes.
go currently now to where the hospital was, what happened was it was just like it was condemned, obviously, and
Yeah.
they turned it into like mega buku fucking bougie condos now.
Oh wow.
But that
Okay.
shit was closed for a really long time. I there a lot, and let me
Really?
tell you, yeah, oh yeah. And do you remember the scene where they show it's a hallway and then the floor is broken, but then on the opposite side there's like 3 feet of floor and there's just a chair with a light bulb that's still on.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. That was real.
Oh, so they didn't that wasn't set up for the movie.
No, and nobody understands how or why like that light bulb still was on because they shut power off to that shit. So basically, what it is you'd go. It was like a little fence. You'd hop that fence because you couldn't go in through the front gate because if you went in through the front gate, that's where they had a 24 well obviously 24 hour, but the midnight security
Security.
dude, and he would stay just in that booth, and then he'd like make his rounds. But come on, is he really making his rounds?
Right.
So this is how I know he didn't make his rounds. So this is gonna get really weird. So the power was shut off to the building and the
Right.
water, but that light bulb and that light still worked. Don't know how, don't know why, but here's the
Wow.
best part. So they basically it's not when I say the best part. I mean I don't mean it this way. It's kind of very sad actually. So they basically shut that place down like overnight, and all the patients. I don't know if anybody wants to look up the backstory to this, but
Right.
there's that type of mental institution that's doing lobotomies and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So they basically opened the doors and the whole system collapsed, and they're like, all right, be gone, people. Well, you're cured. Be
Uh,
gone.
oh, holy shit! So it was like a
Yeah.
oh, isn't there one of those in New York too? The Cropsey thing. I want to
Oh,
say
I don't know.
there's a documentary called Cropsey, man. I believe it was about a mental institution that did like the same thing, like somewhere in New York. And then like
Oh,
two little kids ended up murdered and buried like on the grounds
oh,
of the hospital or some shit like that. So I don't know. But
I
anyhow,
don't know. But all I know is that so these people they didn't know any better, or they had no order, so they're homeless and they turn into homeless people.
well, of
Now, it
course.
didn't shut down that long ago to where like people would still be alive that went there when I was going there when I was in high school.
Right.
So occasionally, when you'd go there, it's a huge place, and you would
Man.
walk past a room and then stop and then turn your flashlight, and then you just get the because patients that used to be there would go back and
Stay there.
squat there. Yes.
Holy shit.
So that
So you
was
guys were
really
going through that place and there were people still in there.
yeah. That would sneak in, or they just I don't know. The security didn't do a
Holy
very good job.
well, obviously not.
And
That's
then
fucking nuts, dude. So like these
I
people
went
were like
through every inch
living
of
in
that place.
there.
I went through every inch of that place. The
Mhm.
moratorium, the chambers where they did the lobotomies, and they did have like actually the set for that wasn't I guess really that hard to. It really looked just like it, that footage was very accurate, and
So do you
they
think they
have
just went in
this.
there and kind of just shot for shot kind of shit? Like they probably didn't even bring a bunch of
What
props?
I what I think that they did is they put on the film crew probably put on their suits and went in there and took footage of the inside, and then
Yeah.
they probably recreated the parts where the actors
Okay.
were acting, because that place was loaded with fucking lead everything and asbestos. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
but no, we saw everything, dude. Like thousands and thousands of those tape reels. Like it
Damn,
was just
dude.
basically like almost overnight, like abandoned. It was very, very creepy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
super fucking creepy,
I'd
dude.
go there,
Holy
and
shit.
a couple of the people that were patients there would talk to us. We never encountered anything where like we felt like we were going to be hurt or injured. Honestly, we
Okay.
scared the shit out of them more than
Yeah, that's
they. Well,
probably
I mean, I don't
true
know
because
about
they
they scared
probably.
the shit out of us. But
Yeah.
like it's like one of those, like it's very creepy, but also incredibly sad
Oh
at
yeah.
how how the system sometimes fucking fails people. But so
Yeah.
that
Well,
was
I mean that
that
what
was
was
that.
baffling to me about that though, man, is like how like that was just accepted.
Yeah.
Like that how it was just like, all right, man, fuck off. And
Yeah,
everybody
pretty
was like, yeah, fuck off. Like nobody was like, wait, hold up. They're not okay, man. Like you drilled holes in their heads and shit. You can't just leave these
that.
people to fucking. But then again, I mean, it was a different
But like,
time too, dude, where they thought that shit was like actually helping people.
yeah. So now you hit me with a story, and then we'll bounce back and forth. I got a couple now.
That's cool. Cause all right, so the first one I'll start with is actually it's my story, but I never got to spend any time there because this was a friend of my mother, and my mother actually was in the place. The only experience I ever had with the place is think of it what you will, because I was at the time I was 10, so 10-year-olds overactive imagination. So it could have just been whatever. My mom had a friend that had a house that was allegedly 100% haunted, like 100%. Like wherever they were in the house, they heard moans, they heard screams constantly, like all the time. Like this wasn't no joke or whatever. And I remember there was one Halloween. My sister is 4 years older than me, so she convinced my mom to load up a van full of kids and drive out to this house so we could all see it. The name of the lady that lived there, her name was Mo.
Oh,
So they always called it Mo's place. Anyhow, so we were all on our way out there and we had one of those weird like ghost car moments where like fuck man. Like I said, I was 10. So believe it if you will, don't believe it. I don't even know what I believe at this point in my life. So we're on this road, and it's a back road in Dover, Delaware. It's out towards like Wilmington or some shit. So it's a dirt road, two lanes. One goes one way, the other goes the other. And we're on this road. We're the only car on this road. It's like 11:30 at night, and all of a sudden, pop! Headlights behind us. And obviously, there's a bunch of girls in the car and me. So the headlights pop, they all start screaming and shit because they're all freaked out from telling each other spooky stories and shit prior to going out there. So they all start screaming and shit. And this car flies on our ass, dude. Like it is on the bumper. And then literally lights flash out, that car is gone. Like I
wow.
said, I was 10, so whether it happened, there was a bunch of fucking screaming and shit going on. My mom was dying laughing because of a bunch of screaming girls and shit. And like I said, it was what it was. Was it
That's
real? Who
crazy, man.
knows? Was it a trick? Like, was it a prank that my mom was in on, knew was going down? I don't know. I still don't know. Funny thing about that place is I want to say my mom told me about 10 years ago. This was after we moved here and everything. The lady that lived there finally got fed up with the place and actually sold it. Somebody bought it, turned the motherfucker into a bed and breakfast.
All right.
So apparently,
Guess that
there's like a
works.
haunted bed and breakfast in fucking Delaware somewhere now.
That's pretty cool.
So that
That's
was my first one. But that was one of those things. Like I said, man, like I really like spooky shit and I love a great ghost story and stuff like that. But that is one thing that I did actually experience that like Was it real? I don't know, man. Like I said, I was 10 years old. I was in a car with a bunch of fucking females that were 4 years older than me, and they were all freaking out. So for all I know, the car literally went around us and I didn't see it.
Didn't see it,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And they were just like, it disappeared. I was like, shit, it disappeared. So,
That's
like
great.
if it was real, it was real. If it wasn't, it wasn't. But like scared the shit out of me at 10. Like I was just like, holy fuck, ghost cars. So what do you got next?
Oh man, I don't know. I grew up in a very historical area. Most of the houses and shit were built in the early 1700s. There's some
Wow.
very big names that lived very very eccentric. One of which is Lord Timothy Dexter. If you ever want to read a funny story about a very eccentric guy, he even faked his death and then beat his wife for not crying hard enough at his funeral. Lord Timothy Dexter.
Holy
Um,
shit. I shouldn't laugh at that, but fuck.
no, well, yeah, come on. All right, come on, come on. That was fucking hundreds of years ago. Stop it, come on. Anyway,
Oh, it's so
uh,
funny.
so yeah, Lord Timothy Dexter, he like hid in a tree, and then his wife didn't cry hard enough. So afterwards, when everyone left, he went down and yeeted the shit out of her face with his fist. But anyway, that's not funny. Um,
I don't know. It's getting funnier. I'm not gonna
so
lie.
so my whole area is very historical,
That's awesome.
and so I lived in a house. It was a duplex, I guess, two house side, whatever.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
cram fucking poor people in there. I don't know what to tell you.
That's
Um,
what most duplexes are.
and it was great because the house was built in the more mid 1700s,
Okay.
and my down cellar or basement
Down
was a
cellar.
was was dirt floor with like
Shit.
stonework, stones as
Yeah.
the foundation.
Yeah.
Now what had happened was like we lived closer. Well, now that shit's prime real estate. It's like almost right in the heart of downtown and right by the fucking by the Whizzle by the fucking by the waterfront.
Right. The whistle cheat.
And
I love it.
that's where they would push like that's where all the weirdos would live,
Mm,
even back in the day. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna get into weird childhood things. I'm just gonna say that I spent a lot of time down cellar, down
Yeah.
in the basement,
Of course.
and
You can keep saying down cellar. If you fucking
okay.
watch this pod enough, you know what the fuck down cellar means.
So along the rocks
Okay.
was very rusted, it's like archaic, almost like almost completely rusted off. Was a lot of chains with cuffs.
Holy shit. Like dungeon style?
Yeah. So basically, what it was when we finally went down to the library and looked at archives and shit. So it ended up being a man and a woman lived there, and and they were, I guess, what modern day like Wiccans would be,
Okay. Got you.
but a little more into the bad side of it.
So the black magic.
Yes, kind of. So essentially, um, what I gathered was that like they had like 15 children, and they would perform rituals down cellar, and if one of the kids or some of the kids were bad, I guess they would.
Just
I'm
chain them
assuming
up
that's
down
would
there.
chain them up.
Holy
Now,
shit.
also, um, if you continued more towards the back where the boiler behind the boiler was a little door, not very large, maybe the size like a car window, maybe a little bit taller than a car window. And
Okay.
basically, what my town had to do, if you opted, is they came in and they basically cemented them all shut
Damn.
because if you broke down that wall, you can
Right.
pretty much access a lot of other people's houses from this
No
underground
shit.
passageway because my town was one of the biggest proponents of like black rights and ending slavery. So that was a huge
So
underground railroad
railroad.
system.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
So if you knock down that wall, I don't know how to gauge. I'm going to say you could basically walk the 3 miles to my friend's house underground. Now, is it dangerous? Yeah, it'd probably
Oh
be
fuck
dangerous.
yeah,
Probably
of
fucking
course.
filled in, but the town came in, they did their shit. But my
Right.
friend's house, he lived in he's very, very rich family. They lived in a fucking enormous house up on High Street,
Right.
and he had a separate guest house, plus his house, plus this huge barn, and he was
Holy
sitting on like
fuck.
acres and acres of property. So I guess they opted not to shut it. So we could walk. we walked from like his barn. It was actually from where his barn was. So you could connect both houses. You could walk between the two houses from his main house. But the cool thing was it was from the barn
Right.
was where you could walk, and you could walk all the way down to like the woods, which leads out to it's called the Artichoke Reservoir,
Holy
which
shit.
is
Okay.
where I guess the boats would come in and then they'd start funneling them in.
Yeah.
So we were like walking through this tunnel, and we kept going
Right.
and going and going. It's getting a little cramped, a little tight. The best way I can explain is if anybody's ever been to Paris, the catacombs, which is fucking super awesome experience.
Yeah, fuck all
Very,
that, dude. No. Hard pass.
oh, I did that not that long ago. It was fantastic. But
Oh man, I watched As Above, So Below. You won't be catching
oh
me
yeah,
down
that movie
there.
was
Fuck that.
creepy, but it's not that bad. But it's weird because everybody's shit was blocked off.
Right.
So I don't know how this happened, but like we happened to be now. Bear in mind, obviously we weren't we didn't do this during the daytime. Come on, we were ghost hunters. We had to do this at like 2 in the morning. So
Exactly.
two 10-year-olds at 10 in the morning. I mean,
2 in the morning.
two in the morning,
Yeah.
going with our flashlights and backup whatever and our weapons. and
Our holy water.
I just remember that we started walking, and my friend was like, "Oh, hold on, I need a break. I'm not like feeling very well." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "You feeling all right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I just kind of have my stomach hurts from it. I just feel really weird." And then like I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I feel a little weird too."
Weird.
And so like a minute passes or whatever, and I ask him, I'm like, "Oh, should we turn back?" And he just looks at me, and then I hear we both like corroborated. We both hear a voice go, "Yes, it's time to leave."
Fuck that. Holy shit, dude. Like, see, that's the thing about me, man. It's like I'm that kid. Like, I love horror movies and shit like that. But like, I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you, dude. If I'm in a dark room all by myself with one other person, I know it's just me and that one person. I hear another voice. Fuck you, buddy. Pew! I'm
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, of course.
doing the
You
fuck
know,
out of there.
we ran, of course, ran back, and then of course got caught by his dad because we were really
Oh,
loud running in, and we were both really ill. So basically, his dad's philosophy was, oh, it could have been a homeless person,
right.
whatever. And why we were probably getting sick, and luckily that we left is because of like the methane gases or whatever. Like he
Yeah.
always,
Gas
but
leaks and
yeah. So
electric.
that's my second weird story.
Damn. Well, my second weird story. We good on time? Like, I don't know how deep
Yeah,
we are.
44 minutes.
Okay, so we still got enough time for at least another story or two. Um, second story, dude. When we first moved, because like obviously I spoke about this before. My parents got a divorce when we were younger, and we before they got a divorce though, we lived in a ginormous farmhouse, like out in the middle of fucking the
Oh, I love
boonies,
those.
nowhere. It was a place called Harrington, Delaware. Big, ginormous, like fucking farmhouse, run down to shit. I mean, you couldn't do anything in that house without somebody hearing you. Big old barn and shit though that we used to play in all the time and stuff, man. Me, my sister, the kids around the neighborhood and shit, we'd always play in this barn and stuff. Man, I'm telling you, dude, there were so many times in that barn, daytime, nighttime. I swear to Christ, if you looked awkward in a corner, dude, you could see things. Like you could just see shit show up there. Like there was one night, dude, we were all out there, we were all just messing around. It wasn't even late. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock ish, but it was like fall, so it was obviously
Dark.
getting dark
Yeah.
pretty early, and it was like pitch black, and there was no lighting in the barn. I mean, it was fucking like it was an old generic barn. There was a hayloft up top, and nothing downstairs. And we always hung out in the hayloft and shit because we were kids, and you dare each other to jump out. Shit you not, man. The closest I think I ever came to jumping out, dude, is we were all sitting in there. And we had two dogs on the farm. We had our dog and then a dog that basically came with the farm. Like he was just there the day we moved in. Like, so this dog just lived apparently with the old family that owned the house and they just left his ass there. So we took him
Oh.
in. And big proponents of animals in my family life. But dude, I shit you not. We were sitting there and we heard a growl, and like the dogs never came up to the hay area because it's fucking up a ladder, and I don't know too many dogs that can climb a ladder. Shit you not, dude, we heard a growl and there was a black fucking dog in the corner of this goddamn barn. Shit you not, I was 2 seconds away from fucking jumping out the top of it because I was so fucking scared, man. But yeah, that's another one of those things. Was it a real dog? Yeah, it could have been. I don't fucking know. I didn't stick around to find out. I was fucking out.
Oh man. Yeah.
But man, there was a lot of weird shit that happened in that farmhouse too, man. Just random noises, weird shit. Never really heard anybody talk or anything like that. But like I said, it was a really old house. It creaked a lot, and there were times that like we would get home from school and nobody was home because both of our parents were in the military and they both worked swing shift. So like by the time we got home from school around 3:30, like their asses weren't home until like 8, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So it was just me and my sister. Shit you not, dude. You could flat out hear people walking around, like many, many footsteps upstairs and shit while you were downstairs and stuff. And it was unsettling and stuff, but you just chalked it up when you were a kid. You were like, I want to be scared of this shit, but at the same time, it's an old house. You can't do anything with it in this house without somebody hearing you somewhere. So for all I know, it could have been fucking cats, the dog, something. But like it didn't feel like that, if you will. Where you're just kind of like, nah, that's footsteps, man. That's not tippy tap of fucking paws and shit. That's boots. That's boots on the floor up there. But I ain't going up there to check it out.
Oh god, there's just
So many.
about it,
I mean,
yeah,
especially got to be a
especially like I
bunch with
said.
you growing up
Oh
where you
yeah.
grew up.
Yeah,
Just like with
my
the
Salem and
history
shit.
thing. Yeah.
There's a
Did you have
actually
you ever been to Salem?
oh god, all the time, man. Actually,
Oh,
I was just talking about Salem with my wife because that was like a lifelong dream of mine. I mean, now that I'm an adult and a homeowner and realize property taxes and versus, fucking wage rates, yeah, no, I'm not ever fucking moving to Salem. But fuck Massachusetts now. Blah, blah, blah.
I have always wanted to go because I've actually never been to Salem, Massachusetts, and
Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
I know that place inside and out. And
like,
honestly, the best pumpkin spice coffee in the world is at the bagel place. I'll take you
ooh,
there.
yeah, fucking, I'm not big into pumpkin spice, but
The
the wife
problem
might
with
like it.
Salem is I would never ever take anybody ever. The one day a year I would never go to Salem is Halloween.
Halloween.
Dude, it's like it was like 2 million people in a
Holy
fucking
fuck!
cramped into it's insane. So it's like a big novelty now
Well,
and
of course, but I mean, like,
Salem is a beautiful place, but
I'm one of those people that like I would just like to go like in the middle of fucking summer, just to see
yeah, I'll take it, man.
the historic stuff, because I'm big into that. Like,
Well, because they have the it's called the Witch Trial Trail. So
oh
you
no
go
shit.
Yeah, you go to see all these the houses where they lived at, or the areas, and then where they did their rituals, where the burning was.
What?
It's a very interesting experience.
So is like,
Salem.
have you ever taken any of those and been like, ooh, fuck this?
I mean, I did. You can walk it with a guide. You can do it yourself. Basically, you could just go to Salem. Is not really that big because you have like the town center
Right.
with like the old shops and shit. But other than that, it's very like residential. So like there's a lot of like residential areas, and people don't
Okay.
oftentimes don't understand. Like everyone wants to go to the fucking center of Salem, and now Halloween especially. It's just an excuse to go out, dress up however you want to dress up, and say that you went to fucking Salem. Like there's literally like I remember
Right.
there's people that fly in from like Russia and China to go to fucking Salem
Salem.
for Halloween,
Holy shit,
and
that's
it's
crazy.
not that big, but it's there's other like there's just so many other places that had a lot to do with witchcraft. Case in point, like
Oh my God.
where I grew up, there's so many parts. Like I told you, there's like witches and then the wicked or witches. You know what I mean by witches, like
Yeah.
like just like occult shit. And then
Yeah.
also probably like I have a weird fascination with cemeteries. And to date, because I love Greek cemeteries, by the way. When we're off camera and not running out of time, I'll explain you Greek cemeteries once. But
Okay.
I'm going to show you a picture. I'll send you a picture of my local cemetery where I grew up. It is fucking so amazing. It's very Gothic, Victorian. It had the
Yeah.
huge arches, like enormous. And then the best part was the hand carved. It was all carved by hand back in the
Yeah.
day in the stonework. It has this. It says when the day breaks, the shadows flee away. And then
Holy fuck.
as you're walking in, there's basically like etched into the stone scripture because that's where a lot of people get buried there throughout the years, but
Yeah.
that's where they would put a lot of like that's where they would have these burial sites for people that were off Christian. So,
Holy shit.
and then it leads into this huge area that is now developed, but it was called March's Hill. That was like this big, like fucking like gully thing. I don't know, man. I used to hang out there like all the time, and
That's
I
fucking
loved it.
dope though,
I'll
man.
show
See,
you the
I
picture of
like
it.
that shit.
It's
Cause like I've always been that weird kid that's like I haven't ever really been like super into the occult, but I'm very into the history of the occult, like how shit came to be, like the dude that started the whole Salem witch trials, like where he came from and how he just kind of left fielded it and was just
yeah,
like, yeah, fuck all these motherfuckers. And everybody was just like, yes, this guy's right. Like, and even the people that were like, maybe this guy's a little crazy, they were just like, don't say that shit. He was like, okay. But like, I've always been fascinated by that. I really want to go to Gettysburg at some point. I want to take a family trip with the
yeah,
wife and
that's
stuff.
cool.
Not even for the ghost hunting aspect of shit. I just really love historic places like that. Like
Yeah.
there's a place, I believe it's in Kentucky. No one will go with me. I've been told I'm not allowed to go there. It's that bar that apparently is like got the portal to hell underneath it. Bobby Mackey's.
Oh, Bobby Mackey's. Yeah, I gotta go there
Yes.
because like I'm definitely turning more and more into a fucking Satanist as the days go on. So
But
I
no,
gotta go.
like I've seen it on, a lot of different ghost hunting shows and shit like that. And like everybody has weird stories about the place, but the guy still owns it. It's still open for business. I don't believe it's ever closed down for any reason. That
Except
one dude
COVID.
apparently lost his fucking, well, maybe. I don't know. Bobby Mackey might be like, fuck COVID, dude. Bring your ass
Yeah.
in here. I got the devil downstairs. So I don't give a shit about COVID. But like I've always wanted to check that place out. But like then you have, like I mean, I guess it depends on like how spiritual you are of a person because so many people believe spiritual people believe that things can attach themselves to you and you can pull them out of haunted places and stuff. Like I've always just been very into stories, and I think that's one of the things that led me into being a comic book fan as a kid is just
Mm.
like these big crazy stories about stuff, and I'm just very in because like I think not enough people in the world know how interesting history is. Like
It's
not the big moments in history, but that little shit off to the side. Like like the history of cemeteries and the history of like this place and Potter's Fields and shit like that.
oh yeah.
Like Potter's Fields are like the craziest shit to me. because like
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of people don't even know what Potter's Fields are, but like just mass burial sites that are unmarked and
Let me
shit.
off camera. I'll tell you a story about Potter's Field.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah,
I guess it's time to get into our Moop and Amanda this week. And
I
I
wanted
think,
to end.
oh, no, we have one more thing first. You are right.
I just wanted to throw this to lighten the mood. So
Yes.
that story, because I'm just gonna. I have to share it. I
I
have to
have,
share
I
it.
have to know it.
So
Also, real quick, before you tell the story, I know it's already been her birthday and everything, but seriously, happy birthday, Angelica. I really hope you guys had a wonderful day. I hope everything was great. And enjoy being 30 because holy fuck.
sucks to suck. All right, so
Okay, please continue.
okay, so my wife, I've known her forever.
Yes.
So I remember her like fifth birthday. So here's now
Okay.
I'm celebrating a 30th birthday with her. So
Okay.
I we decide we had plans to travel. We travel to other countries every year,
Yeah.
and I wanted her to go back to Greece for her 30th birthday to spend time with the friends and family over there because like shit's trash here right now.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, COVID stuck the big D in my bung, so that didn't happen. So basically, she wanted to go. We're gonna go. We initially were gonna go like to Georgia, whatever. Anyway, it didn't work. I went up somewhere way upstate in New York to see like this cavern waterfall area because we're both actually big hikers and
Nice.
trailers. So one thing is for sure, I don't care if it's a global pandemic or not.
Okay.
Every birthday, I will give you a triple dose of vitamin D.
Okay.
It's just me, man.
All right.
My first round may be weak, but I got you a second round, all right, at
All
least.
right.
So we go on this big hike. It's on her birthday, September
Right.
16th. I'm all pumped up, ready to go. But we were just hiking all day and driving all day. So
Yes.
got a shower.
Yeah.
So here we are in the shower. I'm like, oh, maybe round one will be in the shower.
Maybe. Hey, okay.
But I don't want to, I don't want my wife to experience birthday vitamin D with someone that smells like the inside of a bum's pocket.
Gotcha.
So
Makes
I'm all
sense.
lathered up. She's all lathered up. We rented out this like cabin, very nice, cute place area over there.
Nice.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm rinsing off, and she's soapy, and we need to pass each other.
Okay.
So she's such a sweetheart, man. She doesn't want to get me soapy with her soapy body. So I'm pressed against one side of the wall, and
Got you.
my ass is facing this way,
Okay.
and she's facing outside of the shower.
Got
Our
you.
butts, our butts, I guess, just barely touched, and she didn't want to get me soapy. And she kind of moves too quickly to make sure because she's so sweet, doesn't want to get me all soapy. The
No.
fucking the ground in the shower, the tub is so slippery, and she fucking slips, comes up, falls out, falls out of the tub, and smashes her ribs on the side
Oh.
of the tub, and head off of the ground or whatever.
Oh.
And I almost fucking fall on top of her and crush her to death.
Oh no.
So she couldn't even. I was super concerned because she couldn't even
Right,
talk
right.
at first because she got the wind knocked out of her.
Yeah, because she hit her fucking side on the fucking lip of the shit. Yeah.
So I'm like freaking out. I fucking almost rip off the whole thing, and I'm like I'm like holding her up a little bit, and like,
Right.
and the fucking water is just like,
Because nobody thinks about turning the shower off.
no, I'm trying to like to
No, I
see,
know. No, no, no. I'm not saying that like in a bad way. I'm just saying
and
that's how we react.
And my favorite part about that whole thing is she has a death grip like this on the soap. She didn't want it to touch the ground. And I'm just like, you didn't want to save yourself. You wanted to save the soap.
Save the soap.
But bless her, she's such a trooper.
Oh,
We laughed about it.
welcome
She didn't
to.
break it. She didn't break anything. But so
That's
needless
good.
to say,
Welcome to
so now
30.
let's fast forward a few minutes or whatever to where it's time for the birthday D.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, uh, oh, I'm like, all right, these aren't the noises you should be making. So I guess that's it.
Oh no! It totally ruined the whole. Maybe. Maybe it didn't.
The way it was planned to bring in 30 with fucking real fireworks,
It
yes, it ruined that.
mini fireworks.
Did was it the vanilla standard?
No.
No, it ended up being just the vanilla standard.
Oh,
But
okay.
and right
Oh
now, if you
man.
go look, and she takes her shirt off, she lifts up her giant titties. It's bruised. The whole under boob
Oh.
here is just one big fucking bruise.
So she's still like every
Oh
time she
yeah.
breathes, it hurts and everything.
So now we're at the point where I was relentlessly making fun of her, and so
Okay,
she's
good.
feeling a little better now. So I was like, maybe, just maybe make up a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe.
Husband, wife, you know, let's do this.
Yeah.
So earlier, I go to brush my teeth, and I have a bathroom carpet in my bathroom upstairs. Bathroom
Oh
carpet runner.
no.
And I'm like leaning in to like look at something because I'm like I'm really crazy about my teeth because I used to be a
Okay.
smoker, so I'm like obsessed with like
Right.
my teeth looking nice and pretty now. So I'm like in the mirror like, and the fucking carpet went
Rug.
kicked out. I smashed the bottom of my chin on the on the sink,
Oh my
and in
god.
a twist and fall, hit my head on the fucking door frame, and my back lands on I had these. See, this is what I get for not putting shit away when she says. So before I went on this trip, I trimmed a manscaped a little bit, you know. So
Right. Of
I have these
course.
buzzers, and I'm buzz because no one wants to, you know, s that d and floss their teeth at the same time. So I buzz that shit
Agreed.
down, and I put the box down on the ground, like right there, and this
So she threw it
alley oop
away.
right into the fucking small of my back. I just got crushed by like just fucking.
Oh
So now I'm sitting
man.
there, I'm incapable of moving, and I'm laughing hysterically because it's one of those things where like it hurts so bad that
It's
it's
too
hilarious.
bad.
Plus, I can't believe it
Yes.
happened.
Right.
I chipped my tooth a little bit,
Holy shit.
and she's in the kitchen like doing whichever she's doing, and she just hears me hysterically laughing. She comes in and it's like, is this?
You're just like out on the floor.
Yeah, and it's amazing because I get up and I'm laughing. So I'm like, this is what I get for making fun of you, blah blah blah. And then we just look at each other and we're just like, sucks to suck. That's my story for that.
That is amazing. You
And
know
I was
what?
G-rated as I could get.
You know what? I think we might just end on that
No moop.
because,
I
dude,
guess her birthday is the fucking moop.
her turning 30 became the move for
All right.
both of you.
So the age 30 for my wife is the moop, and just me being old and shitty and
Is the
32 now
Amanda.
is the Amanda. So I'm the fucking Amanda, and her
My
birthday's the
God.
moop. There we go.
Oh, wow. Well, that does this week's episode of Two Guys One Boop in. Thank you guys all for joining us. We will see you next time, and hopefully you enjoy this one. You got
I hope
anything?
so. I have a lot to say, but I'm just gonna just fucking admit defeat. So there we go. Goodbye, everybody.